Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah, everyone. Welcome back and Jazakumullah for arriving early. So we are going to start our class with the opening prayer. Can I have GB3120 for the opening prayer?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, can you please read the opening prayer for everyone?
Okay. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم إني أسألك علما نافعا.
Okay, can you repeat after me once as well?
Okay.
Allahumma
اللهم
inni
إني
as'aluka
أسألك
علما نافعا.
علما نافعا.
And the translation?
Oh Allah, I ask you for beneficial knowledge.
Jazakallah. So this hadith is from Ibn Majah. So we are going to move on now with our class. I'll quickly remind everyone about our class etiquettes. I hope that before joining the class, everyone did wuzu. Make sure that you are wearing clean clothes and your head should be covered with a scarf or a cap. Make sure that you are sitting in a quiet place. If more than 2 siblings have joined the class with separate devices, then again, make sure that you are taking the class from 2 separate rooms. Otherwise, your voice is going to echo when you come on the mic. We do request that a parent or an older sibling should be present with you so that if you need help with anything, they are there. And lastly, make sure that you have joined the class with your correct ID so that we can assign you to your correct breakout room. Okay, and make sure to stay till the end for the homework and the ending prayer. So in today's lesson, we are going to learn about Sukoon. Okay, so we are going to learn what it looks like, what we need to do when we come across a Sakin letter. Okay, and again, as usual, the lesson is taken from the book Talimul-Qur'an. Those of you who have this book at home, you can visit lesson 12 on page 62. Okay, that's where you will find the Sukoon exercise and the Sukoon rule. So once we've done that, we are going to practice using text from Holy Quran. Today, we are going to be practicing Surah Al Imran, verses 76 to 79. Okay, and we'll do this in our own smaller breakout rooms. At the end of the class, once we have finished the class with the concluding prayer, make sure to practice verses 76 to 79 again, and you have to do this right after the class. Okay, you'll have 15 minutes, so make sure to do that. In terms of homework for tonight, as I said, you have to practice the same verses which we'll cover in the class. And then later on in the evening, you can do this whenever you like. Later on, you have to do verses 80 to 83. Okay, and because it's the last week of the class, we do have homework for weekend as well, which I'll go through at the end of the class. So before I start the lesson, I did post the link to our drive where you can find all the resources that you need. Okay, the homework PDF as well as the practice text. And in terms of the practice text, there is a blank one. It doesn't have any highlights. And then there is one which has highlights and it explains the rules which you have covered so far. So for example, today we are going to learn about Sukoon. And as you can see in this highlighted version, the guided version, here you can see, if you click on it, it tells you a little bit, Sakin Noon joins to Mutaharrik Meen. Like that, okay? So this one was covered in previous lesson, the rule of Hamza Sakin. Okay, it wasn't covered, but it does give you a little bit information about it and what you have to do. Okay, so now let's move on to our today's class. So today we have to learn about Sukoon. Now, what is Sukoon? So Sukoon is a symbol. It looks like a small, teeny tiny C, letter C, okay, alphabet C, and it sits on top of letter like Fatha and Dhamma, okay? So you'll find Sukoon on top of the letters, and Sukoon is also known as Jazm. So some of you might call it a Jazm at home, okay? So don't get scared by the terminology here. It's the same thing, Sukoon and Jazm, okay? A letter which carries a Sukoon is called a Sakin letter, okay? So instead of saying letter with Sukoon every time, which can be a mouthful, we can just say Sakin letter, okay? And yeah, so any letter that carries a Sukoon is called a Sakin letter. And remember, a Sakin letter always joins to the most recent voweled letter, okay? So a vowel letter is any letter which is carrying a Fatha, Kasra or Dhamma. So let's have a look using an example. So here is a word, Alhamdu, okay? Now if we break this word into smaller parts, you can see that we have, okay, so at the end, we just have a voweled letter or a mutaharrik letter, okay? It is carrying the stroke of Dhamma, okay? Now, letter Mim is carrying Sukoon, okay? So we can say that this is a Sakin letter or Mim Sakin. And as I said earlier, this is what a Sukoon looks like, okay? It looks like a C, but it's the opposite way around, okay? And notice that it always sits on top of a letter, okay? So it is on top of the Mim and on top of the Lam. So we'll call this Sakin Mim and Sakin Lam, okay? Lam, which is carrying a Sukoon. So Sukoon always causes us, it wants us to join to the previous voweled letter, okay? So if we look at this first set of letters, we have a Sakin letter, Lam Sakin, and we have a voweled letter, okay? Alif. And remember, we can also call this Maftuh Alif, okay? Because Alif is carrying Fatha. So the Lam Sakin, what it wants us to join to this previous Alif, okay? So we will say Al, okay? That's how we'll pronounce this. And if you look at the second box again, we have a Mim Sakin and we have a Maftuh Ha, okay? Voweled Ha. So again, we have to join the Sakin letter to this Ha, okay? So Hum, okay? That's how we are going to pronounce it. Now, when it comes to pronouncing the Sakin letter, sometimes people rush it, okay? So you don't, make sure that you don't rush it and you pronounce it clearly, okay? Whoever is listening to your tilawat, they should be able to hear each and every letter clearly, okay? So make sure to spend 1 second on the alif because it has the short stretch of fatha, and then the sound of lam should also be clear. So alhamdu, okay? Don't rush the sakin, don't rush through the sakin letters. Okay, so to summarize everything, Sukoon is always on top of the letter. It looks like an inverted C, okay, the letter C, but the other way around. It is also known as Jazm, okay, so they are the same thing, Sukoon and Jazm. And any letter which is carrying a sukoon on top is called a sakin letter. Okay? And lastly, whenever you see a sakin letter, you have to join it to the most recent voweled letter or mutaharrik letter. Okay? So we are going to practice now using some of these examples. So let me have a student on mic. GB1800.
Assalamualaikum.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Okay, so we are going to practice, but to make sure that everyone can join, everyone who's at home, what we'll do, I'll say the word first, and then you can repeat after me.
Okay.
Okay, so you can start with Bismillah.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay. Nusibat,
Nusibat.
Ushhidu,
Ashhidu.
Barqun,
Balkun.
Na'budu.
Na'budu.
Jazakillah. So, GB1800, can you tell me which one of these in the first box, which one is the sakin letter?
Is it the first one?
So it's highlighted in red as well. It's the letter ta. Okay, the first one is a voweled letter. It has a dhamma. Okay. So the letter that is sakin is the letter ta. And what do we do when we see or when we come across a sakin letter?
You have to join it.
That's right. We have to join it. So what do we join
And you
it
have
to?
to look for the most recent vowel letter, and then you have to join them.
That's right. So in this case, which letter is the most recent vowel letter?
Ba.
That's right. So we have to join the ta sakin to the ba mutaharrik. Okay, that's right. And in the second example, can you tell me which one is the sakin letter?
Sha.
Okay, so do you know the name? The sound is right, but the name of the letter is?
Ush.
Sheen.
Sheen.
Yeah. And which one is the vowel letter which joins to sheen?
U.
Okay, that's right. Alif is the vowel letter, so we join it to the sheen sakin. Ushhidu. Okay,
Ushhidu.
that's right. Jazakillah. So I'll pick one more student. GB2562. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Okay, so we are going to practice the second row now. You can read Bismillah and then I will lead you.
A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Okay, so before we practice, I just want to request all the students who are attending the class, make sure to repeat after me, okay? خُلِقَتْ
Khuliqat
نَحْنُ
nahnu
رَبِحَتْ
rabihat
قُلْتُمْ.
qultum.
Excellent, well done. So in this second box, can you tell me which one is the sakin letter?
Ha.
That's right. So ha is the sakin letter, and which vowel letter do we join it to?
The most recent vowel letter.
Yeah. So we have to join it to the maftuh noon. Okay. Right?
Yeah.
Okay. What about this last one?
There's two Sukoon letters, sakin letters.
That's right. We have lam sakin and mim sakin. And we have to join the lam to the qaf and mim to the ta. Qultum. Okay. Jazakallah sunil jaza. So before we go into our breakout rooms to practice, I'll quickly recap everything. So remember, sakin letter is a letter which is carrying the sign of sukoon. Okay, the sukoon symbol, which looks like this. Okay, a voweled letter is a letter which is carrying a stroke. Okay, it could be fatha, kasra, dhamma. Now, whenever you come across a sakin letter, you have to join it to the most recent voweled letter. Okay. Make sure to sound both the voweled letter and the sakin letter. Okay. Don't rush through the sakin letter. Yeah. So don't rush through the sakin letter. Make sure to make the complete sound for the sakin letter as well. Jazakallah.